Hey everybody, this is me, Daniel Hutchins, and today we are doing an article again from our friend Den of Geek. So I know it's been a while since we used Den of Geek, but today from Den of Geek we are discussing about Black Widow. Yes, Black Widow. So Black Widow explains why Natasha doesn't get a funeral in Avengers Endgame. No on-screen send-off is better than the wrong memorial Natasha would have been given. This was from today. Okay, spoilers. Natasha is no more. Now, Avengers Endgame saw Natasha Romanoff, Scarlett Johansson, sacrifice herself on Vormir to obtain the Soul Stone, helping to undo the Thanos snap which saw 50% of the universe disintegrate. It was the noble act and choice of Nat's behalf. She and Clint Barnes fight not to sacrifice each other, but to be the one to die, and ultimately Natasha wins. We might not like that, but hey, at least it was Nat's will. But surely, Nat could have had a funeral. After all, Tony Stark did, right? Well, actually, no. Post Black Widow, maybe not. Because no funeral that Endgame would have been able to show would have lived up to the one we can now imagine. Knowing well that what we know after Natasha's standalone, Nat's funeral wouldn't have been a respectful private gathering. It would have been an international event. Nat may be gone now, but she may never have known her biological family. But what Black Widow really hammers home is that her found family and her sphere of influence was massive. So in Black Widow, we learn about Nat's history, ripped from her family at a young age and pushed into the Widow program. We learn that her biological mom searched for her relentlessly but was executed by Dreykov. For years, Nat had no contact with the surrogate parents Melina and Alexei, who took care of her for 3 years, or her surrogate younger sister Yelena. Believing the Red Room program to be over, Dreykov to be dead, and Yelena living in a normal life somewhere. Turns out that's not true, but by the end of the film, Natasha and her fake family have killed Dreykov, destroyed the Red Room, freed and deprogrammed the Widows, and even released Dreykov's daughter, Antonia, from her captivity as the Taskmaster. Nat acknowledges that Alexei, Melina, and Yelena are her family as much as the Avengers are. Now, if we'd seen a funeral for Nat Endgame, these characters hadn't been there. It would have been wrong, and obviously if we'd seen a funeral, they had been there. That would have been a weird spoiler. It would have diluted the emotional impact at the end of Black Widow. These are people who genuinely cared about Nat. Now, there's no way Yelena would have missed her sister's funeral. The headstone she visits at the end says Daughter, Sister, Avenger. Official acknowledgments to Natasha and Yelena's bond. Daughter acknowledges too, not just the mother who searched for her lost daughter, but also sometime mother and father Melina and Alexei. They would have both been there. But given that there's the Widows, given the part she's played in finally bringing the end to the Red Room in the Widows program, the freed ex-Widows would absolutely have turned out to be a force that could not be reckoned with. But Nat would be a hero to all of them. They wouldn't abandon one of their own, just as they wouldn't leave Yelena or Antonia behind at the end of the movie. Now, that's before we get on to all the remaining Avengers of different shapes and sizes, all of whom we wanted to honor their fallen teammates. But at the start of Black Widow, Nat tells Mason she's better off alone. But by the end of the film, we saw the massive impact she had on so many lives. A half-arsed funeral with a few Avengers just would not do that for Nat. This very private person would surely have had nothing less than a state-level gathering. We just have to imagine the scales of it. No funeral for Nat then, but instead in Black Widow, Nat has time to get her affairs in order. She's mending the bridges she's burned and adding the past acts from most catastrophic event from history of the universe and biggest and most important fight of her life. No funeral, but to a tribute of Natasha as character nonetheless. Black Widow is now available to stream for free for members of Disney+. If you guys hadn't checked out Black Widow, I suggest you do, because I'm probably going to be checking out it pretty shortly. At least I hope to. And again, you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And please stick around on the channel. If you want to be a subscriber, I have some cool content. So, again, check that all out. Let me know your thoughts and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.